Ladies and gentlemen, the performer you're about to meet is not your ordinary miracle worker. He's a sought-after speaker and facilitator who uses magic to help teams boost empathy and build better relationships. He delivers keynote addresses and facilitates workshops at conferences and team meetings. But tonight he's here to challenge your assumptions and open your minds to wonder. Ladies and gentlemen, please help me welcome Dan Trommater!
Hi! Thanks! How's everybody?
Great.
God, isn't this exciting?
Very.
So exciting. How many people at the Magic Castle for the first time? A whole bunch. Have any idea what to expect?
None.
Nothing?
Magic, maybe.
Pretty safe assumption. Yeah, exactly. I think we all come with different expectations of what this experience is going to be like. Some of you are expecting deceit and trickery. Some of you are expecting an exploration of the dark arts. And some of you, no, 3 of you are expecting to have your minds read. Some of you are even expecting magic. So we start with a classic of magic performed with these 3 silver dollars. These are Morgan silver dollars. They're named after the man who designed the coins. Check them out. Aren't they lovely? Mm-hmm. Solid discs of silver minted in the late 1800s. My wife gave me those. Lovely, yes?
Yes.
Fantastic. It's 1, 2, and 3. I will endeavor to be as fair about this whole thing as I can be. I'll hold the coins right at the tips of my fingers so that other than the coins, you can see that my hands are indeed empty. And in fact, I'll push my sleeves back a little bit because I don't want you to think the sleeves have anything to do with it. Now, one at a time, all 3 coins will travel. They'll travel from the tips of the fingers over here to the tips of the fingers over there. To no reaction whatsoever. It's because you didn't know what to expect. Wasn't fair. So we'll try again. Now you know what to expect. 2 and 1. I'll just hold them a little bit farther apart. Thanks. That was the best noise I've heard all week. So good, so good. I'll take it as a compliment. So 2 of the coins have already traveled. There's only 1 left. I feel like if this one was to go immediately, the whole trick would be over too soon. So I'll go ahead and I'll put 1 back. We'll do it again. Thanks for noticing. I know why this is hard to follow. It's hard to follow because there's 3 coins and you only have 2 eyeballs. So I'll make it easier to follow. Just focus your attention on the top coin. In fact, I'll hide the bottom coin in my hand. That way you can just watch this one. And now you know what to expect. You might actually see it go.
Wow.
It's lame. I think it's better when they go invisibly like that. And that's 1, 2, 3. Thanks. Isn't that cool? Doesn't that look like magic? It's not. It's just an illusion, but nonetheless, pretty cool. I love magic. I love magic because not only does it remind us of all the wonder that's in the world, it forces us to challenge our assumptions. And that's what all my work is really about. My wife tells me that I make too many assumptions. She doesn't say it out loud, but I'm sure she thinks it. So, I want to show you something that you not only assume is impossible, you know that it's impossible. It involves that little wooden box and a $100 bill. I brought the box. Who's got a bill I can borrow? Doesn't have to be 100. It can be a 50 or a 20 or a 10, but this is hilarious with 100. You got something? What do you got? 20. 1/5 as funny will still work. I'm Dan. You're?
Peter.
Peter. This is loaded, so be careful. Take that. Sign your name nice and large right across the face of the bill.
All right.
I love it. No hesitation whatsoever. Awesome. It's only a minor felony. Minor felonies are like being kind of pregnant. I'm sorry, remind me of your name.
Peter.
Thank you, Peter. Peter's signature on this bill identifies it so we know it is indeed his signed $20 bill. Now, a lot of times you go see a magician, they don't tell you what to expect. I'll tell you exactly what to expect. I'm going to fold Peter's signed $20 bill into a nice, neat little bundle. I'll put that bundle inside of my empty left hand. I'll wave my empty right hand over it. It will disappear. It will travel invisibly through space and land in the wooden box. You know this is impossible. The bill. The wave. The disappearance. The complete lack of reaction. It's okay. It's because you know there's more. Peter, will you hand off your drink and come on up around? Everybody give Peter a big round of applause. Comes around the table. Good. Open up the box. Pull out what you find. It's a bag. Yeah, open up the bag and pull out what you find therein. I'll take the bag. Good. You know what that is, yeah?
A lime.
It is a lime. More specifically, that is a $20 lime. This is important. Inspect that lime. Make sure it's unadulterated. No cuts, no holes, no slits, no errors.
Yep.
Unadulterated piece of citrus, yes?
Yes.
Fantastic. Let's cut it open, shall we?
Let's do it.
Do you have a knife?
I do not.
You do not. I do. I got a knife 3 years ago after a failed mugging attempt. I got to tell you, now that I have the knife, the attempts are far more fruitful. There we go. There it is. Good. Peter, there's not a $20 bill stuck to that knife, is there?
No.
No. I'm going to cut the lime in half. Well, not straight in half. I'm going to circumnavigate the equator of this little citrus planet. Grab the top, twist, and lift.
What? Oh my God.
There's something in there. Grab it. Oh, it's green.
Okay.
It's a 20, but it can't be the same 20, right? Because that's not possible. And yet Peter opens it up and shows everybody his signature.
No way.
And that is possible.
Very well done.
Cool, thanks. So, what you have just seen is impossible. Cannot be done. And it happened 3 feet away from you. I think that's pretty special. I think it's a lovely reminder that possibility is a question of belief. If we believe that something is impossible, then it's impossible because we don't even try. However, if we believe something is possible, even the sliver of possibility, then we're going to put in the effort. We're going to try and fail and try again until that thing that everybody else thinks is impossible becomes possible. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy. So I was doing this piece of magic at an executive retreat about 10 years ago. It was a breakfast type of thing. I did there was breakfast. I opened the day with this piece of magic to make that point about possibility being a question of belief, and then I moved on. At lunch, it became clear that I was the only one who had moved on because the president of this company came up and said, "Dan, that trick with the lime is tremendous. I know how you did it." So really? He says, "Well, yeah, of course." "Okay, how did I do it?" "Oh, well, it was obvious. You," and he told me his theory. It was a good theory. And I complimented him on it, but I said, "Are you sure?" He looked me right in the eye and he said, "Well, of course I'm sure. It's the only physical explanation for how you could have done that." So what I told him and what I want to tell all you is that in the last 20 years of doing this piece of magic, I've used at least a dozen different methods. At least 12 completely different physical techniques to achieve the exact same end result. And when I told him that, he looked like I punched him in the nose. It was like his brain exploded with the idea that there could have been more than one right answer. And he thought about it, and he said, "Okay, if that's true, that you've got 12 ways you could have done it, and I was convinced that I had the only right answer, well, then I need to go back to the office, and I need to look at all the things that we as an organization believe that we have the only right answer for, and we need to question that." I thought that was beautiful, because in that moment he realized that by blindly following yesterday's right answers for today's problems, or worse yet, projecting those answers into some unknown future, he was opening up himself, his organization, the lives of everybody that his company touched to an awful lot of risk. In that moment, he was challenging his assumptions. Now, that's a long way of me saying, I'm not telling. But that's a good thing, right? Because think about it. When Peter took the top off that lime and there was a $20 bill in there, you had a moment of wonder. Something that's rare and precious. So if I was to tell you how I did it, I'd be pulling that rug of wonder out from under you. I don't think that's very useful, especially considering where we are. So as you go through the rest of the Magic Castle, I invite you to soak in all the wonder. Let's try a little thought experiment. In your mind, picture a classic image of a magician. You might be seeing like tuxedo, white gloves, top hat, bunny coming out of there, right? You might be thinking of a specific magician that you know from television or from your life. Whatever image you're thinking of, it's probably not this, right? Middle-aged, bald guy, glasses. With this physical package comes a whole bunch of other assumptions. That bottle of Rogaine must have been expired. What are you laughing at? And another assumption that you might be making is that because I'm wearing glasses, I must have poor eyesight, when in fact I'm really lucky I still have perfect eyesight, and these glasses have no lenses. How many people noticed? One. One out of what? 90? I mean, that's incredible. Now, I do this for a very specific reason. It's to remind us that we constantly make assumptions, all day, every day, and usually that's a fine thing. It's efficient. But a lot of times we make assumptions based on not enough fact. We make assumptions that the grass is always greener on the other side. We make assumptions about what people might be like or what they're thinking based on what they appear to look like. And we make assumptions about what's possible. So I invite you to challenge those assumptions and kind of leave them aside, because a lot of times those assumptions turn out to be wrong because they're not based on fact, they're just illusions. So speaking of illusions, I'd like to share with you an illusion that was taught to me by one of my mentors, a man named Dean Dill. I'm Dan, you are?
Me?
Yes, the woman with whom I have eye contact.
My name is Ellie.
Hi, Ellie?
Ellie with an E.
Hi, Ellie.
Hello.
Would you join me? Get a little closer view? It's okay?
Yes.
Yeah, cool. Hand off the drink. Come on down. Everybody give Ellie a big round of applause. Sorry, thank you. Hi, Ellie. A little seat for you right there. Thanks. I invited you up simply to get a closer view and kind of be the eyes of the rest of the gang. I'm going to show you these. These are Canadian silver dollars. These were a gift from a dear friend when I became a Canadian a few years ago. Check those out. Yeah, I grew up in Michigan. Now I live in Canada. Aren't they beautiful? They've got guys, check them out. Like really inspect them, because what you're going to see is you're going to think trick coins.
Canada.
They do say Canada. Exactly. Thanks. So let's try this as open as I can. We're going to put them right here on the table like so. 1, 2, 3, 4. If I lay them there, you can all see them pretty clearly. Yes? Yeah. Good. Even if I cover them up with the glass. They're a little obscured, but you can still see all 4, yes? Yeah. Good. No illusions so far. However, if I cover the whole thing with a little silk scarf, now you can't see them at all. So now you have to start making assumptions. You have to assume that they're still under there. Not too big of an assumption, considering we can still hear them. I got one. Yeah, it's right there. It's invisible. Just an illusion until I squeeze it and it becomes reality. What? How that was just the sound of like wonder escaping from your body. But, you know, there's an assumption. There's an assumption that there's no way that this could be one of those 4, right? Because that's not possible. Sometimes people clap. Not usually. Usually it's just dead silence, just like that. So that's the first one to go. One of those three is next. You can see them. You can hear them. I got one.
Where?
It's right there. 1, 2, 3.
Wow.
2.
Wow.
2. Thanks. Well, let's see. These, Ellie, are the first two to go. One of those two is next.
No. Why? How?
Like, I don't, I literally saw it in my head, like, no. Oh my god, okay.
I know. It's crazy, right?
It just does not make sense.
Yeah.
Like, oh wait, now.
No, one more.
Okay, one more.
I might break Ellie.
You already did.
Ellie, I need your help for the last one. One hand palm up.
Me?
Yeah, good. So I'll give you all 4. 1,
It's going.
2, 3, 4. I have none. I'll push the sleeves back a little bit more. And I'm going to take the top one back from you. When I do, I'd like for you to squeeze tightly on the bottom 3. Will you do that?
I can.
Squeeze tight. Turn your hand palm down. And don't move. Last coin. On the table. Under the glass. Under the scarf. Isn't it amazing that nothing that I'm doing is real? I mean, it's all just illusion.
Not look real.
But I mean, it's a pretty good illusion, right? I mean, think about it. There were those 2 coins and they just melted into one. But that's how it is with illusions, right? We get a really powerful illusion. It feels real. And that's the same thing with assumptions. Assumptions feel like facts. That's why it's so important to challenge our assumptions. So, with that in mind, coin's still there, Ellie? Yeah? Good. And here? Yeah, good. In fact, you can still hear it.
No. If there's 4 in here, no. How? No.
Show them.
No, like.
Show them.
No, I know. There's no way. Like, I really don't get it. I'm done.
Everybody give Ellie a big hand!
Sweat, like.
Thanks, Ellie. Oh, that was fun. All right, and to close, I offer a challenge and an invitation with white cotton thread. We each have our own personal, individual worldview, our own unique perspective on the world. So here's the challenge. Deconstruct your worldview. Challenge your assumptions. Reevaluate your expectations. Because when you do, I think you might find that you start to take less for granted. You start to notice all the little bits of wonder that are all around you that nobody else seems to notice. So that's the challenge. And now, the invitation. As you step out that door at the end of my show to experience the rest of Magic Castle, I invite you to soak in wonder. Plant your feet firmly in midair and embrace all of the possibility in the impossible. And then take that restored worldview out into the world to experience all the wonder. I'm Dan Trommater. Have a lovely night at the Magic Castle. Thanks, Ellie. Thanks, Peter.